Hi, this is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed singer-songwriter, Luminosa. But before we get to our interview, here's a sneak peek at her incredible talent with the music video for her original song, Epic Love.
Feels like a lifetime ago that I knew you. Feels like a lifetime ago that I knew love so true. Back when I knew you. Can we go back to an epic love? I need to relapse. Without it I collapse. I can't go on like this after I knew bliss. So take me back to an epic love.
Well, hello, Luminosa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so much better now that I'm speaking with you. You have not only an incredible talent, but such an incredible light and vibe about you, Luminosa. I want to know, oh, of course, please, I speak the truth. But listen, I want to know first and foremost, talk to me a little bit about the impetus for writing the song, Epic Love.
Sure. So it's definitely a long story. I'm actually writing a book about it. But it was my high school love, and I used to tell this story, and we had been friends for years. We had been on again, off again, not officially, for 10 years. And anytime I would tell this story about us, I couldn't think of the right word to explain what we were back then. And then I finally was talking to my mom about it, and I was like, I don't know, we were just epic, And he gave me all these Taylor Swift moments. So I decided to give him a Taylor Swift moment and write a song I actually wrote it when I was up in New York and I was living in Brooklyn, and I was with all of these different people, and I was still thinking about him. And that's where it came from. Can we just go back to this? Can we make this again? But
I mean, look at what I love so much about the song too, Luminosa, is that it is such a timely, timeless, but also relatable song, especially now. I feel like so many relationships have been through such highs and such lows throughout this time. And so, from artist to artist, I thank you for being so vulnerable, because I think it's going to help a lot of people who are going through something similar,
Yeah, I hope so.
Well,
That's
listen,
always my intention, is to let you know that you're not alone, and there's nothing that you're doing that's an issue or a problem for the world, if that makes sense. Unless you're hurting someone, then you're not okay. But if you're just struggling with your own things, it's okay, and somebody's here and they love you.
That's amazing. I love that. Now, Luminosa, I want to know, where were you born, and when did you realize that you not only had an amazing singing voice, but that you wanted to be a part of show business?
So I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I actually my mom likes to coin the phrase that I could sing before I could talk. So I was raised Catholic, and we would go to church. And when I was a baby, before I could even speak, I would coo to the organ. So people in my church would sit around me just to listen to it. And I kind of grew up thinking that this was normal, that everyone knew how to sing, I thought that someone saying that you had a beautiful voice was like saying, hey, I love your dress. I just thought it was normal. Everybody could do it. It was fine. And then as I got older, I realized that not everyone could, namely my parents, can't sing. And I was like, oh, this is actually different. So I think at 11 or 12, I met Christina Trumbolo. And she actually helped launch the artist Dea. And so when I met her when I was a kid, she took me on this wild adventure. We were in a church basement for some time doing musicals. we ended up going out to New York City and like meeting all of these Broadway people. And then my senior year in high school, we went out to LA and like wrote with a bunch of songwriters that wrote for Justin Bieber and like Demi Lovato. And then she actually opened a studio in Times Square when I was graduating college, and I came out and I worked for her there, and we got to work with like Taylor Parks and Chloe Angelidis, who also write for like Selena Gomez and Ariana Grande and all of these things. So it just kind of snowballed, and it gets to the fact that just no matter where I am or what I'm doing, music is a part of my soul, and I don't think I could ever let it go.
I freaking love it. You are such a bright light. And I love your tagline, bringing brightness back. Because I think if there's any time that we need you, Luminosa, it's now. And I'm curious, well, in researching you and just witnessing you now, it's very evident that you have done the work on yourself. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
you've done the work, you've done the work to make the choice every day to choose light, to choose positivity. And I'm curious if you could give advice to anyone out there, especially an artist out there, who may be struggling and has been struggling, especially these past 2 years. What advice would you give to them?
I think first of all, try, and I know that this is really hard, but try not to compare yourself to other people's journey. Their step 110, you might be on step 2. And that doesn't mean you're not going to get to 110, but that just means you're on 2 right now. And that's okay. So I think that not comparing yourself to other people really helps. I think also accepting the darkness is how you let the light in. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's just, don't be afraid to feel your emotions. Don't push things down. Like if you're sad, be sad. If you're angry, be angry. Like if like you're an artist, you're going to have heightened emotions. We all do. We're big balls of emotion, but let that in and let yourself feel it and realize that that's just like part of the human experience, and then it won't last forever. I think I forget that a lot of times when I'm dealing with like my depression or like PTSD or things like that. I forget that it's not, I just think it's never going to end. There's never going to be an end to it. And especially I think in this past couple years, we think there's no end, there's no end, there's no light, there's nothing. It's your mind. It's tricking you. I know it's crazy that we have to fight against our minds sometimes, but it's true. But that's not a true fact or statement. It will end. There will be light. You will meet new people who make you smile in ways you never thought. You will have experiences you never thought you would have. So yeah, stick around for the journey, man.
I love it. Well, listen, I'm so grateful, Luminosa, that we are now connected, that you're joining this incredible platform where you're going to get to spread your light even more. And also, I can't wait to read this book you're working on top of all the TED Talks I'm sure you might have in your arsenal. But if you don't, you need to do it because you're so inspirational. And I'm so grateful for your time today.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.